Are we good? And we're recording. So welcome everybody. Oh my gosh, 78 people. I am so excited. So first of all, I wanted to tell you guys a little bit of a backstory. So about 3 or 4 days ago, both.
With her. I'm gonna drive her home.
It's not right here.
Oh man, Mandy's muted now.
Mandy, you're muted. Yeah, Mandy, you're muted.
I don't even have an option.
Okay, got it. I don't know where it cut me off, but I was sharing that a few days ago, Jen and Meg and Kamala and myself were really excited to get an email from Dr. Shawn, just asking how that he can help our team getting Edge launched. What I think is going to happen, Crystal, is as people hop on, they're not going to be muted. That may be what happens. And so if you hop on and you hear this, just mute yourself out, please. And we decided that the best thing that we could do is kind of lock arms all together, get a big group on here, which is what you guys have done. Wow, 82 now. And we're just so excited to have him share with all of us. Jen's daughter had a soccer game tonight, so she was actually unable to moderate. We just thought it would be best if I did that. So again, Dr. Shawn, thank you so much for taking this time to be here with us. We really wanted to just hear from you, give us the rundown, let us know what it is that we need to know, why we should be getting our customers and our potentials super excited. And then at the end, open it up for a time of question and answer, if that's okay with you.
That sounds perfect.
Okay, great.
All right, so I'll give you guys like the Reader's Digest version of what Edge is, if you haven't heard about it already. And I'm going to keep trying to admit people as they come in to the waiting room. So Edge is our brand new product that goes on pre-sale on Thursday, which is April 1st. So it's going to go on pre-launch for the month of April. It's going to start shipping out towards the end of April, probably like April 25th, 6th, 7th, something like that. So people getting it towards the end of the month. What it is a product that helps with mood, motivation, and metabolism all in the same product. It's a little tiny canister with a little scoop inside. That you just take that little scoop, put it in water, like a 4-ounce serving of fluid is what I recommend, but you can make it more concentrated or less concentrated based on your taste profile. It's really what we call clean label, in that it's only 3 main active ingredients. It's mango leaf, lychee fruit, and palm fruit. And then it's naturally flavored, naturally sweetened, nothing artificial, nothing synthetic, no sugar, no calories. It's really the kind of product that people are looking for right now. And so like as Amari being the mental wellness company, we've got tons and tons of mental wellness products that help with stress or anxiety or resilience or brain fog or sleep quality or, a zillion different things. This one is really, even though it has a lot of research behind it, about 24 studies across these 3 products or across these 3 ingredients for cognition, for mental performance, for physical performance, for work output, for weight loss, for belly fat reduction, for overall mood, for protecting and growing new brain cells. Like there's so many things we could say about it. We're actually trying to downplay the science a little bit because this product is so experiential, meaning somebody puts it in their water, they mix it up, they taste it, they go, oh, that tastes really good. And then almost immediately they feel the mood and motivation piece of it. So that's something where we really want the product to speak for itself and people to have their own experience with it. Because what we're going to find is that some people will have more of a mood experience. Some people have more of a motivation experience. And some people will have a tremendous metabolism benefit, meaning their belly fat will be reduced. And that's going to differ a little bit per person. Some people are going to get all 3 of them, and some people are going to get different sort of degrees of them. So we want that to speak for itself so that people can generate their own stories and then share those stories and share it out with more and more people. But the other thing that we like about it is that easy to explain, clean label, all that kind of stuff. But because it's experience, a big piece of what we're hoping this is going to do is make the business of mental wellness lot easier to explain to people. When people feel themselves, they'll go, oh, I'm part of, what else do you have? And that what else do you have gives an opportunity to be able to say, oh, we have these things for stress resilience or sleep quality or any of the other things that we've been doing the last 3 or 4 years. So this, I think we expect, based on the initial response that we've gotten from the people who have tested with it, this will eventually be like the tip of the spear for people to come into Amari. It'll be that doorway in, like their first experience, and then they can see all the other things that we have. So we think it'll be a really good, not just successful product on its own, but a successful business builder kind of a product, if that makes sense to you guys. So that's what Edge is. It comes out pretty soon. Whoever orders it first, like, somebody was saying this the other day. They're like, if I order it on the 1st, does that mean that my order is going to ship before somebody who orders it on the 2nd? And I'm like, I don't want to get in the middle of operations here. I don't think we're going to have any issues getting it out the door for everybody. So with that, I'll hand it back over to Mandy and see if maybe you guys have any specific questions I could answer for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. I love how you speak to the fact that, and that's what we've been trying to continually reinforce to our teams, is to not complicate this, that sometimes with the fundamentals, especially, we can get with the whole GBX, we can get kind of sciencey and it can perplex people, but this is so easy. And I love that you spoke to that, because that's definitely something that we've been reinforcing. So yeah, I mean, guys, don't be shy. This is your opportunity. There are 95 of us. Send some messages out. Let's get to 100. I want to document that. Make HIP proud. So shoot some questions. If you put in the chat box, we will try to get to it. But honestly, the most effective way to get your question out will be just to unmute yourself and ask it.
I am getting a lot of questions, Dr. Shawn. Hey, thanks for jumping on our call tonight. I appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure, Jen.
Some people are saying, am I going to still need my mood? Am I still going to need my energy drink? Like, can we stack these products? What would you say to that if somebody was asking?
Yeah, we want people to stack these products. So like I gave the example, maybe before everybody was on, stacking Edge and Energy Plus is a really, really good to give yourself, like, I mean, I'll caution people to when they do that, because that combination is like rocket fuel. It really, really generates, like, not just energy, but this really unique kind of actionable energy where you really, really feel like getting something done. I told Hip to do it one day on a call, and he texted me later on, and his text was just, it said, wow, wow, wow. Something, just wow. It was an amazing sort of an effect. Edge isn't going to replace any of the products. We think that people will really stack them. So, fundamentals is really sort of overall mental wellness and resilience. Edge is going to be more like immediately noticeable than that, but it's a different feel than what fundamentals does. It's a different feel than what Mood Plus does. So I did a call early this morning, and somebody was asking me on that call, is Edge something that we should recommend to people who are, and this is their words, they said, people who are struggling with depression and anxiety. And I said, probably not. That person struggling with depression and anxiety might do better with Mood Plus, but Edge would certainly help take them more towards that higher end of the mental wellness continuum. So you could stack Edge and Mood Plus and get an immediate motivation benefit while you're working on the depression and anxiety that Mood really focuses on. Similar with Menta Focus. If you really want to sort of get into like your best work, if you're doing emails or you're writing something, or you really have to buckle down and get some work done, you could do a combination of Edge and Menta Focus, because there's really good anti-inflammatory benefits of one of the ingredients in Edge. The mango leaf extract is really high in these compounds called xanthones. That's what actually gives the motivation benefits in the brain. Those are profoundly anti-inflammatory. So you could use Edge sort of synergize with either Hemp GBX or Relief Plus for an anti-inflammatory benefit. So there's all kinds of ways that people can sort of mix and match. This morning, actually, through my race on Saturday. But this morning I mixed my Edge with my Mentabiotics is unflavored and Edge is watermelon flavored and naturally sweetened. Mixed it down and it was good. My wife like, what do you told her? And she's like, I want to do that. You know, so we're going to see all those examples of different stackings, and we want to encourage people to do that.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I'm new. I just signed up a few days ago.
Well, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm very excited. And a certain time not to take Edge.
Well, I wouldn't take it right before you go. Only it does have such of a the motivation is different than energy, but you might be so motivated that you wouldn't want to go to sleep. I've taken it late in the day on purpose, like a late afternoon workout to see if it would keep me up. And because it's not a it's not really working the same way that a stimulant does. So it shouldn't cause insomnia or jitteriness or any of the things that you would associate with like drinking too many cups of coffee or too many energy drinks or anything like that. Okay. I'll tell you one more thing, Diana, that I think the way people will start using this is that people will use it in the morning as a way to sort of get themselves up and motivated and get ready for the day. And then you'll see people who are using it before their workouts. And then you'll see people who are using it to kind of accelerate their weight loss if they're trying to lose weight, especially if they're trying to lose belly fat. You'll see people using it a couple of times a day if they have a really busy day. People have already been asking me like, what's the maximum times a day that I can use this? You know, and I would say like, I wouldn't use it more than 4 times a day, because if you're doing it for that many times a day, each time you use it, it's probably getting you 4 to 6 hours worth of benefit. And so if you're using it more than that, you're overloading yourself in a 24-hour period, so to speak. So, you know, I could see people using it reasonably 3 times a day. 4 times would probably be the max. But, you know, it's not like I'm saying 4 times because then you're going to be overstimulated. It just works in different ways. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What about giving this to like children, say like 9, 10 years old? And would it, I give my kids energy for focus and stuff like that. How would this compare to that? And can they take it?
Yeah, they totally can take it. In fact, I would much prefer kids to be taking this than a Red Bull or a Rockstar or a Monster or something like that. Even more so, I would want kids to take this before taking any of the artificially colored, artificially flavored sports drinks that are out there. With kids though, what you'll probably want to do is do only a half a scoop. Even though the scoops are really tiny, this is a really potent formulation. I would start off with a half just to see how they do. And then, you know, you just don't want to have, like, if you've got an 8-year-old, you don't want them bouncing off the walls any more than they already are. You know what I mean? So give them some motivation at a half dose and see how they do. And then go, you know, move up to a full dose if you think is appropriate. Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
Dr. Shawn, I have a question.
Yeah.
If a person's body does not need to shed excess weight, is this product likely to cause them to lose weight anyway, or no?
No, that's a great question. The answer is no. And the reason we were really strategic in saying metabolism, mood, motivation, metabolism, is because the effect that causes people to, well, let me say not causes, the effect that enables people to lose belly fat, specifically the visceral fat, is because the metabolism effect is that the lychee fruit polyphenols improve blood sugar metabolism and improve fat metabolism. And if you can get those 2 things balanced, if you need to lose belly fat, you'll lose it. If you don't, you won't. And so what you're going to see is like, you know, people who really need to lose weight will be able to use it as a sort of a weight loss kind of a product. because what it's going to do is it's going to improve their metabolism. So the good diet that they're on and the good exercise regimen that they're on is going to gain more traction, so to speak. It's going to work a lot better. People who have just like a little bit to lose, they're trying to lose those last 5 or 10 pounds, which are almost always around the midsection. Those people are going to go, oh my gosh, my abs, I finally lost that little bit of weight that I've been struggling with trying to lose. That's the hardest to lose. So they're going to lose it. But people who don't need to lose weight, the benefit that they're going to get is that their energy metabolism is going to be better. So their brain's going to work better and their body's going to work better, but they won't lose weight unless they actively need to lose that weight. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Thank you so much for your response.
Mm-hmm. And a sort of a like stepping off from that. Somebody asked me earlier about kids taking Adderall. Sometimes people take Adderall. I don't like side effects of it. They make them jittery and tense and irritable and stuff like that. But if they get off of it, they very often gain weight. So sometimes when you get on it, you lose weight, and sometimes that can be a good thing. Sometimes it can be a bad thing. This has the I never know how to kind of say this. Like people have ever experienced Adderall before are going to take this and go, huh, this seems like a similar effect, like mentally, but it's not going to have the same like appetite suppression kind of effects. You're going to have an appetite change. Your appetite's going to be more appropriate. You're going to have less stress eating with this sort of a thing, but it's not going to be the same sort of like side effects that you get with Adderall in terms of weight loss effects. So anyway, people have been asking me about that, so I thought I'd mention it.
I have 2 quick questions.
Yeah.
One, how many servings are in a canister?
30.
Okay, that's what I thought. And then the second one you kind of just talked about. I have a friend asking how this would be for kids that have ADD and ADHD.
Yeah, I think it'll be amazing for them. So people right now who a lot of people, and especially a lot of healthcare practitioners, use our fundamentals pack and use our Mood Plus in what they call step down therapy to get people off of antidepressants and anti-anxiety drugs, being able to sort of wean them down lower doses without getting the withdrawal side effects. And fundamentals and Mood Plus seem to be very effective in helping people do that. I think we're going to see the same thing for the ADHD drugs, Adderall and Ritalin and those sorts of things, which are, let's be clear, those are very potent stimulants, and they're really, really hard for people to get off of once you're on them. They are, from a biochemical perspective, they're 2 chemical steps away from methamphetamine, right? So they're pharmaceutical versions of meth. And if you can get off of them and get the focus and energy and sort of connection benefits through natural means, that's what this mango leaf is able to do. So we're able to do it in a really, really cool way naturally with edge.
Perfect.
Dr. Shawn, we had a question about, is it on? Okay. We had a question about diabetes specifically, like type 1 and type 2. So I noticed that this only has 1 carb, which is great. So is this going to be a good, more of a stabilization for people with blood sugar issues?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So the blood sugar metabolism could you could look at it if you're having blood sugar problems, you normalize your blood sugar. And that really is sort of an anti-diabetes effect. For the average person that isn't pre-diabetic or has frank diabetes, just normalizing your blood sugar control so it doesn't go up quite as high and it doesn't come down quite as low and it isn't as sort of jaggedy, it's more sort of smooth control. That's going to be good for your blood sugar control. Secondarily, that's going to be good for your fat metabolism. It's going to be good for how your brain works. It's going to be good for how all your muscles work. So yeah, it's the ingredients here, even though they're very sort of mental performance and physical performance oriented, they're also healthy, right? You would want to take them on a daily basis simply for the health benefits around metabolism, like diabetes and obesity and things like that, around cardiovascular benefits, around anti-aging benefits. So yeah, that was probably a longer answer than you want. It would be perfectly appropriate for people with diabetes.
Thank you.
to ask a question. I'm sorry, my kids are screaming in the background, so I'm running to my room. I am pregnant and I have not tried Edge yet, but I'm curious if there's any concerns there, or if there's anything I should know before trying it while pregnant, or what kind of effects I would notice from it.
Yeah, I wouldn't think there'd be any problems at all, because each of these ingredients are sort of food based, right? Mangoes, lychees, and palm fruits have been in the human food supply since the beginning of humans. The place where we make caution sometimes for pregnant women is when there hasn't been any sort of like historical exposure to the particular thing. So like Mood Plus is a good example. That's got 4 really, really potent like herbal medicines basically. And so those herbs have never really been applied in a meaningful way to pregnant women before. And so that's one where we're like, we just don't really know what's going on there. So we're gonna recommend that you hold off. But with this, they're food-based ingredients. So I don't think there'd be a concern at all.
Great. That's what I thought as well. Just double checking.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hey, Dr. Shawn, looking forward to this product coming out. Just a quick thing about me, because I've got concerns. I had a mitral valve replacement the end of January. And of course, normal doctors, they say, stop taking all your supplements.
Yep.
So my 9-10 months of taking Amari products religiously and feeling the positive benefits kind of way down for the 10 days prior to the surgery. And then I guess it was close to a month before they got the clotting factor indicators all leveled out, figured out what they needed to do. Then they gave me the go ahead. Now's a good time to start. So I've been. So and I'm now in cardiac rehabilitation. And one of the things I've noticed through all this surgery and all the stuff I've gone through is the fact that the metabolism definitely pretty well tanked. It affected pretty much all that I'm hoping that Edge will take care of. Because of the medication I'm on, metoprolol and warfarin, there shouldn't be anything counterproductive for any of this. I don't think there is, but you wonder, because I can't eat anything with vitamin K and all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So you anticipated there aren't going to be any interactions or interferences with any of the ingredients in this product. So you don't have to worry about the ingredients like interfering with your medications or anything like that.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to that, and also changing my keg, my 1-pack, into a 6-pack.
Exactly. Good luck.
Follow.
Dr. Talbot.
Yeah.
My husband takes lisinopril.
Yeah.
And I'd like to get him off of that. Would this help him? And what other product would you recommend?
Yeah, so potentially the other product I'd really recommend would be Menta Heart.
We've got it.
Okay, so Menta Heart would be the first one there. Somebody asked me about stacking Edge and Menta Heart for, like, they were actually asking from more of an athletic perspective, but and I said, yeah, that'd be a really good idea, because what Menta Heart is going to do is more akin to its physical performance and mental performance, but a big piece of what's going on there is because of cardiovascular efficiency. That's going to be really good for your husband. And then Edge, because of, it helps with blood flow, it helps with metabolism, it helps with motivation, all that kind of stuff. They're both performance oriented, but in different ways that would be very complementary to each other.
Okay. It's becoming walking season again for us.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yes,
exactly.
yes.
That's one of the things I'm super excited about, is that this Edge is coming out right at the time where, like, the country's starting to open up again. The weather's getting nicer. People are going to be able to get outside. People are going to want to start looking better, right? They're like, everyone's been shut-ins for the last year. The timing on this is going to be really, really nice.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I have some really low blood platelets. I have what's called thrombocytopenia. And I was wondering what products would help build up the platelets.
That's a
if there's anything that would
tough
affect
one.
it.
That's a really tough one. To be perfectly honest with you, I don't think any of our products would really have that direct sort of an effect building up platelets. But Menta Heart works on so many aspects of cardiovascular health. Any of the anti-inflammatory products would probably be beneficial, like Relief Plus, Omega, Hemp GBX. Just for like cardiovascular dynamics and overall function, but for a specific platelet effect, that's a really, really tough one that I'm not aware of any natural option that would have that sort of a benefit.
I was just wondering.
Okay.
Dr. Shawn, is there any? Oh, go ahead, Cam.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to ask, is there any adjustment period when starting Edge? Like, how sometimes with the fundamentals, you may have a little bit of detox or you might have to wait or be patient. Is there anything that we may notice with, like if somebody would come to us and say, hey, I noticed this, and it's not necessarily mood motivation. Do you know what I'm saying?
I don't think so. I don't think there's going to be any sort of that adjustment period for people unless they're trying to figure out like, should I start with a half a dose or a full dose or, a heaping scoop or, that kind of stuff, I think is the only thing people are going to have to start figuring out for themselves. Somebody asked me this morning that if somebody uses it for weight loss and they see a lot of fat loss, especially a lot of belly fat loss, and because fat sometimes holds on to toxins and those get released into the system, could they have sort of a detox effect going on in their body? And I said, actually, I'm glad you asked me that and this gets a little bit into the weeds, but the way that we're enhancing belly fat loss is through these lychee polyphenols. Those also just happen to be the kinds of polyphenols that help the liver to be a better detox organ. So you sort of get the effect that you're enabling belly fat loss is automatically going to be helped in terms of detox because of the same polyphenols, because of how they work at the belly fat level and how they work in the liver. So it's a really, really nice natural balance that's already built in there for us.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So you keep saying visceral fat, belly fat. Does it help to burn other fat? Just because I don't have a problem with belly fat really, but in other areas I could definitely use help.
Yeah. So the reason I keep focusing on visceral fat, belly fat is because for most people, that's the hardest fat to lose. It's related to stress. It's related to cortisol. It's related to blood sugar. It's related to inflammation. And so if you can get a handle on that kind of fat, you automatically get a handle on the other kind of fat. So that's the reason that I'm emphasizing that. So the metabolism benefits of having better blood sugar control and better fat metabolism, lipid metabolism, is going to affect fat metabolism in the entire body. So yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
I have another question.
Yeah.
Are there going to be any people that maybe don't notice anything? And I have had a couple of people with just like the regular fundamentals and other products and stuff that have said, well, I don't really feel any different, but I know it's helping me. But are there people that have used Edge that pretty much didn't really feel any different? And what would you say to those people about whether or not they need to take it or, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So let me take the first one first about fundamentals. So fundamentals and Mood Plus. Every once in a while, we'll hear people come back and go, I don't know, maybe it's working, maybe it's not working. That's something that we see, like this inability for humans to perceive a change in their overall mood and well-being is something we see in our clinical trials all the time. We see it with pharmaceuticals, we see it with natural options, we see it with dietary changes, we see it with sleep quality trials. It's one of the reasons that we have to do these very objective measurements, right? Where we, we'll do surveys or we'll measure brainwave patterns or something like that so that we can show them, look, you are feeling 20% better or you're feeling 30% better, right? So a lot of times there's that, like we can quantify it, but sometimes that person doesn't feel it. So there's that. But I also get the fact that if someone's not feeling it, it's not going to be real for them no matter what I show them in my charts, right, in my data. So we see that kind of thing all the time. I'm inclined for people who don't feel something on Mood Plus or fundamentals to say, you know what, you should stop taking it for a few days. And when they stop taking it, they start feeling it. They start feeling themselves go back to how they were feeling before. And I've seen this for 20 years, and a lot of my colleagues have seen the same thing. We don't know why someone can't feel this, that they're getting better and better and better. But as soon as they stop, they feel this, that they're going down the other side. They're going back to where they were before. We perceive that very readily, whereas we don't always perceive the little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better. So there's that aside. I think we're going to very infrequently see that with people taking Edge because it's such a noticeable difference for them. And with mood, motivation, metabolism, like I said at the beginning, people will perceive different pieces of that depending on who they are. I would think the only people that would be at risk for not experiencing, like what we're hearing from the test group right now, not experiencing, wow, I feel amazing, would be people who are severely over-caffeinated. You know, so if you get somebody who's just been pounding Red Bulls multiple times a day, or someone who's drinking, 6 to 10 cups of coffee, or somebody who's taking a pretty heavy duty stimulant medication like an Adderall or a Provigil or something like that, those people might be so amped that it's really hard for them to perceive anything else happening. But I think what Edge will be able to do is help them wean down off of that other thing that is like this potent sledgehammer. And then they're more able to perceive these other sort of holistic kinds of benefits, if that sounds right.
Yeah, that's great. That really helps a lot. It explains why my husband has been acting in a better mood, but he has absolutely no noticeable feeling whatsoever.
Right. Exactly. A lot of times what we see is someone who's taking it will go, fundamentals or mood will go, I don't know if it's working for me. And you will literally have their family standing behind them going, it's working, because other people can perceive that even though that individual isn't.
Exactly. Thank you so much.
Yep.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So I haven't eaten any sugar. I can't even take the energy because it has cane sugar and I have Lyme disease.
Yeah.
And so all year I haven't had any sugar and I've been doing pretty good. And I've been awesome on the fundamentals. I was really excited about this because I'm also losing weight. But because I'm in the test group, when I took it, it caused that same reaction that I had from energy where it would make me feel inflamed. So I just wondered, I guess, did you have a suggestion? Because I really, really want to take this and I felt incredible other than that. But I think I know it doesn't have direct sugar, but it's derived from it. So I didn't know if that was why.
Yeah, no, the Rebuside M is a sweet component that we can derive it from stevia. The reason we're not deriving it from stevia in this particular product is because some people might know this, some people might not, but stevia for a lot of people tastes sweet initially, and then there's a bitter aftertaste. And so with this particular product, we wanted to make sure we didn't have that bitter aftertaste because the mango leaf and the lychee fruit are actually very bitter. And so if we got the sweetness from stevia, we would get the bitter, and that bitter would actually make the bitter of the active ingredients even worse. So we got the Reb M from cane sugar, and it gives a much sort of fuller, more sugar-like sweetness, right? So you don't get that bitter aftertaste. What you might be this isn't because it's coming from sugar that you got that effect. You might have gotten that effect because your body perceived sweetness and you haven't taken it long enough for the blood sugar balancing effects to kick in. So what I would say for the rest of this test period, and maybe for the next month after you get Edge, make sure you take it with food. That will enable your body to sort of make that linkage between sweet and then some other calories coming in from food, and your body will learn to manage those sugar calories better.
Okay, perfect. Yeah,
okay.
I wondered because I'm just hypersensitive to so much right now. So
yeah, I would do that. Just take it along with if you're going to take it in the morning, take it right before a breakfast that agrees with your body, and I think you'll be perfectly fine.
I did notice the mood though. I was randomly yelling, "I love your hair" to some random girl at the grocery store. And I was like, what is wrong with me?
What's
And I was
wrong
like,
with
oh,
me?
it's mood.
That's
So,
awesome.
thank you.
I have a
Dr.
question.
Shawn,
Go ahead.
I remember in a leaders call a few weeks ago, you talking about a increase in BDNFs, and I think it was from the palm fruit, but I thought that it was super, super interesting, and I think it had something to do with like focus and maybe lowering depression. Could you speak to that just a little bit?
Yeah. So the palm fruit, we found in a study that we did a year and a half ago, when we were putting together Mental Heart, because the palm fruit extract is also in Mental Heart, that palm fruit ingredient increases BDNF levels by 22%. So BDNF stands for brain-derived neurotrophic factor. That's the thing that your body produces to not just protect neurons in the brain cells, but to actually actively grow new ones. And so we can see this in, middle-aged people where, years ago, we didn't think that you could grow new neurons past birth. We thought everyone was 20 years ago, we thought that you were born with all the neurons you were ever going to have, and all you would do is lose them over life. And now we know that if you can get more BDNF, you can grow new neurons. And so that's associated with better cognition. You're able to be more creative, you're able to focus better, you're able to have better memory, all those sorts of things. But it's also associated with mood. There's really good data to show that people who are depressed have lower BDNF levels. And so if we can keep those high, it's an anti-aging benefit. It keeps the brain young. It does all these wonderful benefits in terms of, and you can also have a better mood and better focus.
Dr. Shawn, can you say one more time what BDNF stands for?
Yeah, BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. It's a really, really cool compound, and it just so happens that the flavonoids that are in palm fruits substantially increase our production of it. What else? Anything else?
Okay,
I
have a question. I'm wondering with the effect on metabolism, if this would be safe for somebody with hyperthyroidism or Graves' disease.
Yeah, that's a great question, because so just to educate people who don't know what that is. If you have hyperthyroid, your metabolism is higher, and so you wouldn't want to enhance your metabolism anymore. That's a different aspect of metabolism than what we're talking about here. So that wouldn't be contraindicated in that person. I think that person might even feel a little bit better, because if you can manage your blood sugar better and you can manage your fat metabolism better, that's going to be good for, how can I say this? It's going to be good for like how you manage your energy stores throughout the entire day. And that's going to be good for mental performance, and it's going to be good for physical performance. Yeah, so I don't think that's going to be a contraindication at all.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So I actually have two questions. And you talked about at the beginning about mixing it with like the energy or, mentobiotics and all of those kinds of things.
Yeah.
I take, in the morning, I do energy, kids mood, and either the kids fundamentals or the mentobiotics. Now, would I want to separate any of that?
I don't think so. No, I think one of the things that our product line is specifically designed to be what we call flexible usage, meaning different people are going to have different regimens that work for them. And so I think if that's working for you and you want to add an edge to that and see if it helps it work better, I think that's perfectly great. You may find when you add an edge that you want to take out something else or save something else for the rest of the day. But what we don't want, just to restate this, we don't want people thinking, oh, I'm going to take edge instead of mentobiotics or instead of fundamentals or instead of mood or because they're all different. Right? You might say that, all right, edge is going to be, my go-to, but then I'm going to add on this and this and this, and somebody else is going to add on this and that and that. You know, it really is about customizing that regimen so you can get the most holistic mental wellness benefits that you want.
My other piece is that I deal with Meniere's and tinnitus. My tinnitus is more, it's not ringing, it's more like white noise, whatever. And I'm wondering if, based on what you just talked about with the neurons and all of that, if that could help my, like I wear hearing aids because of the effects of vertigo and all of that. But I'm wondering if there would be any like added benefit for someone like me.
I'm going to give you a big maybe. I'm going to cop out and give you a huge maybe, because tinnitus is one of the ringing in the ears, for people who've never heard that word before. That is one that is, there's never really been any good natural solution for that. It's a tough nut to crack, except for ginkgo biloba sometimes helps. And omega-3 fatty acids sometimes help. So you're probably taking our omega already. The mango leaf, maybe, because of how it works in the brain. I'd be really curious to hear back from you, Deborah, if you get benefits from it. But
okay,
big maybe, unfortunately.
That's okay. I was just curious. Thank you.
Dr. Shawn, I have one more question, kind of on a personal note. I've been taking the fundamentals for a while, and I have recently was diagnosed with gastroparesis, which is slow emptying.
Yeah.
Is the fundamentals really the best thing for me to be taking with my GI issues, and I've also added the probiotics as well. Are those the best, or is there something I should add to my protocol?
Yeah, you should. That's a good question. You should probably take two doses of mentobiotics sometime in the day, like morning and evening, and then at each meal take digestive. And the reason for that isn't because of the enzymes in there. It's because mentobiotics and digestive both have this blend that's called ProDigest. It's a patented blend of ginger and artichoke, which helps with gut motility. So it will help your stomach empty about 24% faster than a placebo. And then that starts the process of everything moving through the gastrointestinal tract the way that it needs to. And so, you know, if you're doing two mentobiotics, you're helping your entire gastrointestinal tract, but you're getting a more enhanced effect from that ProDigest.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much.
Okay, sure thing.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I have a customer that the daughter is taking the Focus, the GBX Focus, and the kids' mentobiotics and the GBX vitamins, because she can't stand the taste of the child's vitamins. And then was going to add the Edge to this because she's got like focus issues. And so she's 14, and I know you said that would work, but also she is has epilepsy and is on epilepsy medication.
Yeah.
Do you see any issues with that?
No, I like none of these ingredients are so we don't have across our entire product line any red flag ingredients. So there's a category of natural ingredients called red flag ingredients that we know have interactions or interferences with major classes of medications. We don't use any of those. Hemp is sometimes like a yellow flag, maybe, depending on the category of medication that you're on. So we tell people, if you're taking prescription medications, you might want to watch it a little bit with hemp GBX, because it can change the metabolism of certain drugs in the liver. But not a single other ingredient in our entire product line, including the ingredients in Edge. So she should be perfectly fine.
Awesome. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Shawn, I have one more question about Edge. What is the actual flavoring? So I think the label says natural flavors, but what is the actual?
It's from watermelon fruit. It's extracted from watermelon fruit. Yeah, I think there's so let me say this too. I think there's a little bit of vanilla in there too. And so like the reason we put natural flavors, flavor houses are really, really tight with their actual like secret sauce formulas. So they don't like to divulge all the different things that might be in there, because people will say, like, if we put watermelon and vanilla on there, people are going to go, vanilla? I hate vanilla. But you can't actually perceive the vanilla. It just sort of rounds out the notes of the watermelon natural actives. Does that make sense?
So is it
Yeah, totally. Someone is saying that their child is allergic to melon. But
I heard, I lost you right when you said child's allergic to melon.
Okay, I was just saying that would probably be because of the protein, right? If this is an extract, that wouldn't be the case.
Yeah, that's almost always the case. So, so good example is lychee is a tree nut, right? So people with tree nut allergies might look at this and go, oh, I can't take that. People who are allergic to mangoes might look at it and say, I can't take that. But because our ingredients are so purified and it's an extract, there's no protein left. There's no mango protein. There's no lychee nuts, nothing like that. So same thing with watermelon, right? It doesn't contain the protein, which is usually the piece of the food that people are allergic to. So, but that said, allergies are weird. And so if anybody has allergies to any, similar ingredient, they should proceed with caution. Start with a little tiny dose, see if they have any sort of reaction, keep it low for a while, make sure their body tolerates it well. Just be cautious. Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
Anyone
I
else?
see somebody in the chat room put, will they ever get that in pill form? Probably not. Like, when we put something in a powder, there's usually a delivery reason for it. We know that this lychee fruit extract that we're using works a lot better when we deliver it as a liquid. So we wanted to make it a drink. But it's also a pretty good volume of stuff. If we were going to put it in capsules, we'd probably have to put it in, I don't know, 5 or 6 capsules in order to get all of these bioactives in there. So I don't think we'll ever do it in capsule form. But it's a delicious drink, and you can just shoot it right down.
Hi, I don't have a question, but I just wanted to say thank you for making this product. It just sounds like it's going to be so beneficial for so many people. And I've just been amazed listening to all the questions that have been answered and how it just sounds so positive for it. So I just want to say thank you.
Oh, thank you. My pleasure. My pleasure.
Someone asked Shawn if methadone was an issue with this product.
I don't know. I can't think of any reason it would be a problem for somebody who's going through a methadone regimen. It's not going to interfere with their regimen or anything like that. So it probably just make them feel a lot better. So it'd be easier for them to get through that whole process.
Great.
And we have someone asking about anti-aging effects, like the wrinkles, brown spots, I guess.
Yeah, so lychee fruit has some massive, so historically, that's what lychee fruit has been used for. It's been used as like a beauty ingredient, like beauty from within sort of a thing. Like the sort of folklore of it is that, the Japanese geishas would eat lychee fruit because it would make their skin so beautiful and smooth and things like that, right? So those sort of folklore stories, they persist over centuries because there's something to them. And the reason for it is that the polyphenols that we have in there, these flavonoids that give us the metabolic benefit, also improve blood flow through the whole body. So there's a whole body of research showing that lychee fruit is good for the heart, that it's good for the brain, that it's good for sexual performance, that it's good for beauty, that it's good for skin tone. I would actually say that after people use it for 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, we're going to start to see a lot of those people coming and saying, oh, I have fewer blemishes. I have less redness. I have better skin tone. I have better, better even color on my face. And it's, that kind of stuff. I'm a little more skeptical of the actual like I'm going to sneeze here. Hold on a second. Okay. I'm a little more skeptical of somebody saying like, oh, you take this and your acne is going to go away, or take this and your wrinkles are going to go away. I think we're going to see skin tone benefits and skin tone testimonials, but we actually have something in the hopper right now that is directly related to anti-wrinkle, anti-acne effects. So we're gonna save that story for later, but we are definitely going to see skin tone benefits with lychee intake. Somebody texted me over the weekend and they said, okay, and they said it like this, like, ha, 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 sarcasm. Okay, Edge does mood, motivation, metabolism, it melts fat, it improves your beauty. Is there anything it doesn't do? And I said, yeah, sadly, it doesn't regrow hair. Still working on that too. But it does a lot. And I think it's gonna be one of those products that people just, it'll go viral because it works. It works in the ways that people want it to work. It's easy to understand. It's 3 main ingredients. I think it sort of ticks off a lot of the boxes what people are looking for. And it gets them to understand what we're talking about when we say mental wellness.
Okay, last chance.
Dr. Talbot?
Sorry, I'm wondering if there's any benefit with migraine sufferers.
I don't know. I could only speculate because we see these great blood flow benefits that you might get those sort of anti-migraine benefits, because migraines for most people are a problem with what we call blood vessel compliance. Your blood vessels, especially the small blood vessels in the back of the brain, aren't opening and closing the way they're supposed to. And so we see benefits, like at least testimonials of people saying, oh, relief seems to help me. And that makes sense because the anti-inflammatory benefits, or Energy Plus seems to help me because of the blood flow, the vasodilation benefits. But this potentially, but I think we're going to have to wait and see what people report back. There's no data that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Let me put it that way.
I'll get back to you on that.
Okay, please do. I would love to hear back.
Okay.
Dr. Talbot?
Yeah.
Can you use this product if you're doing alternate day fasting?
This would be perfect for that. Absolutely perfect for that, because it's going to help with your energy. It's going to help with your energy, when I say energy metabolism, I'm referring to blood sugar and fat modulation. So yeah, it'd be perfect for that.
Great. Thank you.
Anything else?
I have one question. You mentioned that this might be kind of the tip of the ice, or the tip of the pyramid, or entry doorway. That said, will there be samples available, like 3-5 days or something like that? Do you plan
I
to
don't
do
know.
that?
This is, marketing's talking about that, and we'll eventually do a stick pack version of this so people can, take it with them on the go. I'm kind of 50-50 on the sampling thing, to be perfectly honest with you, because, we have 100% money back guarantee. This is something where people can just, buy a 1-pack, buy a 2-pack, experience it. If they think it sucks, we'll give them their money back, right? We offer that to everybody, and we rarely actually have to give people their money back. We get something ridiculously low, like 1 or 2% of people who buy our products ask for the money back guarantee. And that's because the products legitimately work and people can feel them. And this one works and feels so much, so quickly for virtually everybody. So I think that just like keeping it simple and being like, try it, see how you like it, see what your experience is. And then if we need to, recoup you on the back end, we'll certainly do that. I think that's going to help you guys build your businesses faster than saying, here, take a sample and I'll get back to you. And then a couple of days go by and then you follow up and then you miss a call and then you have to connect. And then like that slows down the whole process. So I think they're trying to think that through, whether that makes sense or not, in terms of like having a sample that you send out, like what we did with Energy Plus and Mood Plus. I'm not sure if that is good or bad for this, but I'm also not the business guy. So.
Yeah, I don't mind if you, I hope you don't mind if I say, just from a business
No, please.
One of the things that we've discussed is, I don't know if you guys have noticed or not, but when somebody reaches out to you, there's that element of excitement and you want to capitalize on that element of excitement. And samples can take quite a few days to get to somebody, and they get a stick or they get 2 sticks and they try it. And a lot of times by that point, and we've seen it with energy and mood, the excitement's kind of died down by that point. So like Dr. Shawn said, with the money back guarantee, we really need to be posturing ourselves with confidence, and really maybe like, I even act surprised sometimes when people ask for samples and just say, oh no, you're going to want a canister of this. Like the way you feel is going to be so amazing. A sample is just going to leave you wanting more. So a lot of this has to do with how you posture yourself. So just be really mindful of that. So when people ask me for samples, don't apologize for that. Don't shy away from it. Don't be like, oh, I'm sorry. Be like, oh, no, you're going to love this. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about how you position it and how you posture yourself.
Yeah, that was great that you said that. I heard somebody say this morning about samples. They're like, yeah, if somebody asks me samples, I tell them, no, I'm not Costco. I don't give samples. Get in here or don't get in here. And it just made me laugh.
Jen and I tell them that the sampling system is broken.
Yep.
All right. Well, Dr. Shawn, thank you so much. I know I speak on behalf of everyone, but especially from Jen and Meg and Cam and myself. Thank you so much for just taking time out of your day to do this for us. It is not lost on us how valuable your time is, and we're super grateful.
My pleasure. Absolutely my pleasure to do it. So any other questions, let me know. We can do this again if you guys want sometime. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shawn.
Bye-bye.
Have a great night. Bye.